All right, welcome back, everybody. It's turbo time at Meineke Cinnamons, and Caleb drives a custom turbo vehicle. I drive a custom turbo vehicle. Jude's building a few here and there that run and some don't run, and some are in process. So we're going to start with, we've done a lot of turbochargers in the last 2 years here.
I think I've done, this is my second or third one since I started back here again.
And then, let's see, Caleb did one on a Hyundai.
Yeah, the Veloster. Jude's done a couple on the Ecotec motors.
But this one is about an Acura that was here for a mass lean fuel system code and some maintenance work. The intake boot was shredded. It's a mass airflow sensor motor. And what that means, it's measuring the air into the engine so it can adjust the fuel and timing and everything else to the engine. We fixed the intake boot, do some maintenance, and then the customer is back with a under boost condition in her vehicle. At the time of inspection, low boost performance. I heard when you shut the car off, the wastegate rattle, but I didn't really put too much to it because it wasn't technically here for a rattle, and it wasn't throwing a low boost condition. But what I'm saying is that the turbo already rattled, saying, "Hey, I got a problem," but the computer didn't say it only because it had a lean code and it probably couldn't exercise boost function. And I think that's how Acuras and most boosted vehicles will be. If it's too lean, it means it will blow up your engine. That's why there's a default to shut the boost controls down. So what happened on her car, she has a 200,000 mile Acura. The eyelet that holds the wastegate door closed is completely worn out on the wastegate. And I'll show you that in another example. But what's happened is when she shut her car off, and hers is really worn. It was doing this when you shut it off from the exhaust pulses and vibration. Not that dramatically, but enough for me to hear it. So the turbo already said, "Hey, I have problems," even though we didn't identify the problem until it was a problem. But this is just kind of explains what the rattle is coming from a wastegate actuator. And it could be from worn out here, worn out wastegate, worn out bushings, worn out and broken door. But what happens is that door here opens and says, "Okay, we're not making any boost," and then as it closes, it seals and then makes boost. So this is how it regulates the boost. So if any of this is bad, wastegate system or control system, it will not make boost. On this car over here, we went with the wastegate actuator first, and then we set it to spec, and then I was like, all right, it's still not making any boost. Let's get a new wastegate actuator. We set it to spec, and I think it's 4.01 or 2, something like that, 4.1 or 4.02. And I reset everything with a new wastegate, but here's the problem. Can I show that? Turn that. You get a. Let's see if we can't. There you go. Meineke Cinnamons. So right there, even if this arm is saying, "Hey, I'm in the closed door position," you see that's so worn out inside of there. And then what happened is, as I tried to keep adjusting for all this, ready? It was throwing it out of spec. So I would set it in spec, I would go for a road test, still wouldn't make any boost, come back and check it was out of spec. So this is so worn inside the wastegate housing and the bushing inside of here that I see a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, just adjust this."
There's no adjustment.
If this is worn out, you're just wasting your time by adjusting this. You're gonna be in there every week trying to adjust it to make boost. If it's slightly worn, you can make up for a little bit of adjustment. If it's completely trashed like this, not gonna happen. So you can see here when this is closed, it doesn't move, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't do anything. So like with Caleb, it was in the closed position and it was still rattling. Now in the past, on some vehicles, I've actually massaged this arm and made it work, but it's only a temporary fix.
Yeah.
Because this is so worn out, it bleeds boost through this whole area. So as much as you want to watch YouTube videos and say, "Oh, I fixed it for $10, I fixed it for $20," that's not always the case. It's not always a fix. It's a Band-Aid, temporary, because this wear isn't going to stop wearing. It's going to continue to wear. And then you're going to ruin your electrical boost actuator because it's vibrating constantly on the circuitry. So the only fix is to replace. So the Acura, we're going to report back. I recommend it replacing the whole wastegate actuator with the eyelet, and if that doesn't restore boost, and she needs a turbo, no ands, ifs, or buts. We really can't see how worn out the inside is. But if this is worn out, that means that the wear inside, if it's been rattling, right, the seat's been rattling the whole time too. That's your boost lesson for today. Thanks for watching.